Hi, everybody. Russ on the West Ham Network. Hope you are all safe and well. If you're new here, you know what to do. There's no point talking about subscribing because, if you're here already, then thank you for joining us. Now, obviously, on Wednesday, we travel to the LNER Stadium to play Lincoln City in the third round of the Carabao Cup. Luckily for us, because of our European escapades, we missed out in the second round, so we're going to the third round, and we face Lincoln, as I said, who themselves face the Premier League side in round 2. But we'll talk about it in a minute. As always, we try and bring in a opposition fan to get a little bit more information about them. I'll be honest, I don't know much about the Imps, so I'll be interested to talk to Tom from the YouTube channel Tom FM. How are you doing, Tom?
I'm very well, thank you. Thanks for having me on. How are you?
Very well, yeah, not too bad. As we said before we started, I wish the weather would just sort itself out once and for all.
Yeah, I completely agree. It's really cold this week, and I'm not happy about it in long sleeves. I want to be back in a t-shirt again.
Yeah. As I said, I'm quite happy to. But I'm okay to go with like the hoodie and the shorts and flip flops. That's sort of my mid, sort of just before it gets too cold, like December when your toes start falling off a little bit because you're wearing your flip flops. But yeah, it's got to make its mind up. But anyway, we're recording this to move the fourth wall. We're recording this a few days before than we normally would do, and you're buggering off to see the Rugby World Cup.
Yeah, I'm watching the other sport, which I'm sure some people will be booing at already. But yeah, I'm in Lyon next week, so I'm actually missing the game, which I'm really frustrated about. It's a chance to see a Premier League side at Lincoln City, which is not something that happens often. But no. I'll take watching New Zealand instead.
Yeah, I think the hack will be a bit more interesting than seeing maybe. I don't know. Trying to think of Aaron Cresswell.
Yeah, maybe.
I'm trying to think of someone sort of derogatory, but it took a while to get Aaron Cresswell's name out of my face. So obviously Lincoln City fan from birth.
From birth, yeah. My family have always been from Lincoln, so I didn't have much of a choice in the matter, really.
Yeah, fair enough. And obviously, we did speak about round 2, knocking out Sheffield United. Wow, at Bramall Lane on penalties. Brilliant, wasn't it? It's brilliant.
Yeah, it was special. I was at the game, and it was a drab match. It was rubbish, really. Not a whole lot going on from either side. You couldn't really tell who was the League One side. Both sides were pretty average, really. There was no great football going on, but it came to penalties, and Lucas Jensen in goal for us made a few saves, and that was that. We were through, so it was a fantastic achievement at the time. Yeah,
indeed. #blame Tevez. I can't wait for them to come back to London. It was brilliant. I remember because West Ham fans are so funny. I think when Neil Warnock came, when he was manager of Cardiff City at the time, everyone was still chanting, "There's only one Carlos Tevez," and that was about 15 years ago.
Yeah.
I love it. We never forget. #blame Tevez. So obviously, I was happy that you guys knocked out Sheffield United. Obviously, we've got you guys on Wednesday. Going into the game, I mean, how's the season been going for Lincoln?
Surprisingly well. I am a pessimist of a fan, really. I'm always of the mind of if I put us low down in the table, then I'll always be surprised rather than disappointed. And that's how I like to be. So for me, we came 11th last season. If we could improve on that, push towards the playoffs, that'd be great. But actually, at the start of the season, we've had some great results. And actually, a lot of fans are now saying, okay, maybe we're actually playoff candidates. So that's probably the position we put ourselves in right now. We are now hurt with quite a few injuries, actually, which might halt that progress a little bit. But the season has been going really well. We have conceded quite a few late goals. I was at Northampton away, conceded there in the 98th minute to draw the game rather than win it. So, potentially, if the referee blown his whistle 30 seconds earlier in a few games, we could actually be higher at the table than we are. But that's if what's and maybes, isn't it? So we can't really talk about that too much. But it's been a great start to the season, much better than I was hoping for.
Yeah. I mean, looking at League One, there are some big sides in there, isn't there? You've got the likes of Portsmouth, you've got Bolton, you've got Reading, you've got the O's, Leyton Orient, God bless them, Derby, Wigan. You've got some big teams in that sort of League One, isn't it? It's a tough league to get out of, definitely.
It really is, yeah. And whenever you think a big team has gone out of it, like Ipswich or Wednesday last season, more come back down again. So it's a difficult league. There's some big budgets in that division as well. I'm sure I saw Ipswich made a loss of, it might be their, not last season before, because financial figures for last season aren't out, but they made a loss of 15 million. And like how a club in League One can afford to do that is beyond me. So there's a lot of money being thrown around in that division by some clubs. So it is so difficult to get out of, yeah.
Yeah, exactly. And it's just one of those things, I think it's there's I hate the expression sleeping giants, but there are a lot of sleeping giants in that league as well. And she said, Ipswich, as you said, Sheffield Wednesday, where they were, and yeah, hopefully sort of a resurgence back into the the top flight. You see Nottingham Forest and teams like that as well. It's funny how everything sort of goes around. You see, remember Man City languishing in League Two, and now they're just beating everyone in the world. It's a strange thing, football. It's a strange thing how it's all everything sort of goes around, comes around. Now, obviously, we go into the game on Wednesday. Obviously, we've recorded this before the weekend's fixtures. Is this how serious are Lincoln going to take the game? Do you reckon?
Yeah, they will put out the strongest team possible. I'm sure of that. They'll want to put on a show. Lincoln, the board themselves have prioritised cup competition in recent years. And the manager himself is also pretty keen on the cup competition as well, Mark Kennedy. So we will put out a strong team. How strong it is going to depend on injuries. Two players you won't see are Ben House and Tyler Walker. There are two strikers. And I think Walker's out for 8 weeks now with a knee injury, and House is out for, I think, up to 5 months with a hip injury.
Wow.
So they're huge players for us, and they're both going to be missing from the game, which is frustrating. Obviously, we're recording before the weekend, so maybe they'll appear at the weekend, maybe they won't. So they might play in the West Ham game, they might not. But Danny Mandroy is out injured. He's kind of like a winger, attacking midfielder. Really good, in from Ireland, bought him from Shamrock Rovers last season. Took a season for him to sort of get going, but he's been outstanding so far this season. We've also got Riku Hackett on the other wing, who is also injured at the moment. So he might play, he might not play. So there's a situation where four of our best players are out for the game, which is not ideal, but hopefully they were back sooner rather than later.
Yeah, and obviously you play Portsmouth before you play us, so away. So as you said, hopefully, touch with no other injuries get picked up for that game.
Yes, fingers crossed. Otherwise, we are struggling. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, we've got Liverpool. Obviously, we play the Europa League, and then we've got Liverpool on Sunday as well. So again, it's not an easy fixture for us as well, away at Anfield. But obviously, both us and Liverpool will be playing in the Europa League beforehand. So hopefully, it's a little bit of a. I think from a West Ham perspective, it's quite an interesting thing. I think that the Carabao Cup fits quite nicely into obviously our European campaign in terms of, if we win the group, which we should do, really, in all honesty, don't want to sound Spursy or anything, but we should win that group. Then there's a gap, and actually the Carabao Cup fits quite nicely in that gap in terms of when the actual, obviously the Europa League, a couple of months off from the group stages into the knockout stages. But the Carabao Cup's always a strange one for us. Last year we knocked out Man City on penalties. Ending their 5-year reign of not losing a game or something ridiculous in the Carabao Cup or season before last. But it's something I think I really fancy us this year. I really do. Depends on what happens, really. I think we've got, for us it's all about injuries and it's all about suspensions and all about basically the fringe players. So there'll be quite a few fringe players, I think, playing. So likes of Pablo Fornals and who else? Sai Ben Rama, possibly. Aaron Cresswell may well be playing. And Lucas Fabianski will be in goal as well as our new cup goalkeeper. I think it's going to be a really interesting game, actually. Traditionally, we don't do very well away from home against lower league sides. I think it was Kidderminster last year in the FA Cup. It might have been where Declan. Well, I see his name. Sorry, the former captain, the number 41, he should not be named, scored like a last minute winner. But yeah, I'm gutted because I'd like to have played you guys at London Stadium because I because I think it's great for obviously for for the Lincoln fans to see a Premier League side at the LNER Stadium, but for me, it's like, you want them to experience the other way around, and travel down and like you did at Bramall Lane, so yeah, it's a strange one here. It's a strange one. I think it's probably, no disrespect, probably one of the easier ties, he says.
I would agree with that, really, in the grand scheme of things, particularly with some of the injuries that we've got as well at the moment. It should be a walk in the park for West Ham, really.
Oh, there we go. You said it now, so we're going to get knocked out. Well done, Tom. We're going to get locked out there.
Fingers
It's funny.
crossed.
I was looking back, and because obviously when I try and get opposition fan, I try and look at players who have played for both clubs. There's not many players who have played for both clubs in terms of Lincoln and West Ham. I think of four, but one I don't think actually Jimmy Walker made an appearance for you guys. He would end up being a goalkeeper coach, wasn't he? I think, but
Yeah, he was. Yeah. He also a radio pundit, so he'll probably doing the game actually on.
He probably will do, Jim. He loves the sound of his voice. God bless him. Friend of the channel, love Jimmy. So I might try and tap him up on tonight and see if what he's doing. He'll let us know. But Ian Pearce was someone who played for both clubs, I believe. Centre back Ian Pearce.
That might be before my time, I'm afraid. That's not a name I recall. We did have Connor Coventry on loan a few seasons ago.
Yes, you did.
And he was quite solid.
Yeah, Connor. He might actually play on the game. Actually, thinking about it, in all honesty, he's about fifth or sixth choice now at West Ham. I'm surprised the side didn't come in for him on loan, but obviously he helps our homegrown quota, doesn't he? Really?
Of course, yeah.
Who else? I saw something. It was Anthony. What's his firm?
Oh, Anthony Scully.
Scully, yeah, Anthony Scully.
We bought him off you. Yeah, he was so good for us, so good. And then we sold him on virtually deadline day to Wigan last season. And I think he played 6 minutes for them all season or something like that. And then was let go to Portsmouth this season. So what that was about, I don't know. But yeah, a talented player, really good.
Ian Pearce played 14 times in the league for you guys between 2009 and 10.
Oh, okay. That was my time then. I just don't recall the name.
Yeah, I just don't recall him. God bless him. I loved him. He's in my Hammers 11. I loved him as a player. He's one of those, from a football manager perspective, he's one of those great players who could, like Chris Sutton, who could play central defence and play up front. So he was one of them. We used to play. I think he played up front against Tottenham, but he's a centre back by trade. But no, I love that.
Absolute utility man, yeah.
Exactly. And they're good to have in the squad, aren't they? They're good to have those sort of Chris Sutton type players. That's showing my age in terms of last time I played Football Manager. For anyone who doesn't know, Tom's that's what you do. You're a Football Manager YouTuber, really. That's what.
Yes. Yeah, that's my job, weirdly, to play Football Manager on YouTube. That is so bizarre to say, but yeah, that's my job.
And how's it all going with that at the moment? How you doing?
Yeah, a lot of fun. Yeah, it is good. I'm really enjoying it at the moment. The new game comes out very shortly as well, so that's quite good to get your teeth sunk into a new game. So hopefully more of the same. Be good. Yeah.
Yeah, it's all good. And in terms of, obviously you're not at the game on Wednesday, but predictions. What type of predictions are you gonna give?
We've not got much going forward with all our injuries right now. Whether we'll risk the players who are on the fringe of the coming back, I don't know. It might be a case of we're playing some more younger players up top and quite a solid back line. So the back line are not bad, to be fair. They are decent. We've got some strength there. But I'd still, wouldn't be surprised to see a 3-0 West Ham scoreline, really, in the grand scheme of things.
Oh, we'll take that. We'll see. Be interesting to see what we do, because we've been this sort of expression "low block" has been used quite a lot this season with West Ham. It's going to be interesting to see sort of taking if trying to take the game to Lincoln. It's something we haven't done this season yet, so it's going to be quite interesting to see if Moisey's got the kahunas to do it. But he's one of those players. I was talking to someone the other day about it, particularly with our sort of Europa League, group stage. We've got TSC, Bacca Topola. We've got some really strange sides. He never takes the opposition lightly. So I think we'll still have a strong squad, a strong team playing. Maybe one or two kids, possibly, because he likes to do blood, sort of the youngsters. And obviously we had quite a successful under-18 side. Won the FA Youth Cup for the first time since 1999. Yes, this year, and obviously won the PL under-18s Premier South. I don't know what they call it now, but obviously we lost to Man City naturally in the playoffs, in the main title thing. But I'm excited. I'm excited. It's going to be an interesting game to see. I think for a lot of fans, they would like to see a few goals. If it happens, it's another thing. But we'll see. Depends what side he puts out. But I don't think you'll see the likes of Paqueta and stuff. They'll be on the bench if they're on at all. But no, I'm looking forward to it, man. I'm looking forward to it. And I'm very jealous you're going to see the Rugby World Cup.
Yes. Yeah, it might be better to watch that than Lincoln getting drubbed, to be fair. But no, I will miss the game. It's a great opportunity to see a Premier League side since the bank, like I've said. And so, when that draw came up, and I looked at the date. I was gutted
Oh,
when
I
I
hate
saw it.
that, doesn't it?
Yeah,
So your blood runs cold a little bit. It's
it
always
does.
like, and it's like, or you've got something coming up, and particularly obviously because I work at the club as well, so it's like, I was like, oh, I'm thinking, oh, I know her indoors wants me to do this, and and like, Sky changes all your bloody games all the time anyway. So it's sort of trying to, she said to me today, "Oh, have we got any midweek games coming up?" Not yet, but if we beat Lincoln, we might do. She was like, "What? How's that work out?" And I was like, "Oh, don't worry." But, yeah, but hey ho, hey ho. Tom, it's been fantastic. Where can guys find you if they're interested in football? Probably if they're interested, they already know about you. But Tom FM, YouTube,
Yeah,
Twitter.
on YouTube, Tom FM. On Twitter, it's Tom FM _YT because of the kid in Argentina who's got the Tom FM @ and he won't give it
What a
to me.
wanker!
I've asked him several times, very nicely, in Spanish as well, but he just never replies. So it's Tom FM _YT on Twitter. Yeah,
Brilliant. Check out Tom, and obviously safe travels. And I wish you all the best of the season after Wednesday.
yes, of course. Same for you as well. Thank you.
Take care, everyone. Stay safe, stay warm, stay humble. And we'll be doing all the watch alongs and stuff like that. So keep an eye on the channel of all stuff we've got coming up in the ratings and stuff. For myself and from Tom, it's come on, you irons. And what is it? Come on, you imps.
Up the imps, yeah.
Up the imps. Up the imps. Take care. Stay safe. Much love. Bye bye.
Bye.